All right. You're live, pal. One sec. Yeah. Excuse me. There we go. Yeah, I had to turn the heater on for the first time today because it was a little cold this morning. I mean, obviously because I had the aircon running because I can't sleep in a warm room. It has to be like ice cold. So anyway, hi, Andy here. So, all right. Before we get going, let's go ahead and share this. Wait, hold on. Not scheduled, is it? It's running right now. What the hell? Let's see if everything's all up and live and whatnot. Okay, yeah, that's good. It's good. All right. For a second there, it said it was scheduled. I was like, it's scheduled to run right now. So, let's go ahead and tweet this out. Boom. It's just that easy. All right, cool. Got that going. Oh, I was just gonna post it. Come on, you guys. All right. There we go. Okay. So now it actually shows up in the Discord because last time I did a live stream, it didn't show up. I had to like put it in myself, but now it's in there. So hope to see y'all very soon. So yeah, I've been doing pretty good actually. Been focusing mostly on sleeping more in a good way. With the winter months, it's always kind of hard for me because there's less sunlight. I noticed that with less sunlight, my mood gets a bit more depressive and very sleepy, and it's just not a not a fun place to be for me. Yeah, that rhymes. But yeah, so I just been focusing more on like sleeping early in the evening, so I can get up early in the morning, so I can work on some stuff. And if I keep this up, I might do some more like live streams or something like that. And I was actually thinking about maybe bringing back the Breakfast in Japan series. Just thinking about it, not for sure yet. But I mean, this is kind of like the half-assed version of it because I already ate everything. All I got left is my coffee and my green smoothie. So, yeah. And later on, I got to go to work and school, and also going to be doing an interview for a podcast. It's a little bit of an infamous podcast, but I'm doing a short interview with them. Let me just turn that off. A little bit of circulation. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad on the live stream. It's weird how like the mic picks up certain things. Like I have this fan like barely on, but sometimes I go and listen back to the live stream and it's just like the whole time. It's like, man, I can't even hear it right now. Well, it's probably just like blaring. Everybody's ears like, oh my God, turn that thing off. Shit. No. I could be wrong. But yeah, today I'm drinking my usual Gold Can Wanda. So, like I said before, I really love the Gold Can coffees out in Japan just because they have like just the right amount of sugar and cream. Because usually I don't like a whole lot of additive stuff to coffee, but there's also times, especially during like really stressful times, where it's hard for my stomach to handle that sort of thing. So it's like I don't want to, have a latte or cafe au lait or something like that because that's way too much, cream and sugar for me. So this is usually just right, and they have all the brands have like their own gold can version. I don't know if it's even like, I don't even know what you would call it. I don't know if there's like a certain terminology or whatever. But I just always notice it by the gold can because, Boss has it, the premium beans, that one I usually get. And Asahi has, or Wanda by Asahi has this one. They also have the Fire Blend, which is another good one. It was like this, but the coffee flavor is more pronounced. So I kind of wish they had like the big can version of the Fire Blend. That shit is fucking fire. But this is pretty okay too, I guess. And usually, just to kind of spice it up, I get a small can of black coffee and put it in there. And I got this was a Boss, like Legend Boss coffee, because I thought it was going to be, mostly black, but it was okay. Wouldn't call it legendary though. But 100 yen, not too bad. So, yeah, things have been feeling pretty good being on YouTube hiatus, even though I'm doing live streaming. I definitely needed this break. It was definitely a long time coming. And with school and everything wrapping up here, this is kind of the critical time to work on final projects, study for finals, all that fun stuff. So this is the go hard month for that. So even if I didn't take a break on YouTube earlier, I probably would have took one anyway, just because of that. So all's well that ends well, right? So I've been trying to like not think of YouTube quite as much, even though I'm coming up with ideas, because that's just how my brain works. So yeah, like like burnout, it's kind of hard for me to even call it burnout, because like burnout's mostly due to running out of ideas. And for me, I never really ran out of ideas. I just ran out of energy to execute on those ideas. So I was just like, or I had other things I had to deal with. And I was just hitting a wall, But I guess you could say I was running out of ideas for like the Andy Japandy channel and stuff like that. So I guess technically it's burnout. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play on the internet. But all I know is I'm definitely feeling better. But I don't want to come back just yet. So I figure doing these live streams will be enough to kind of scratch that itch, and I don't have to sit down and edit them. Just sit here, drink my coffee, drink my smoothie, and chat with you guys. See how y'all are. So, how are ya? Sorry for the messy hair, but it's winter time, so we're bringing the fro back out of the closet from storage. So, keep my head warm, which is nice. It's funny, like with like curly hair like I got, I try using like a brush or something to make it look nice, but it always looks kind of weird whenever I do it. Like even just this kind of bed head, well, except for this part, shit. But whatever, close enough. I'll just lean up. But yeah, just me coming out of bed, I always found that like looked the best most of the time, unless my hair was like all on one side. But yeah. You guys are kind of quiet today. It's hard to come up with stuff. But yeah, with geez, maybe I should go for some more coffee or something. Usually my brain's like all started up by now, but it's like in half gear at this point. Come on, coffee, do your magic. But I swear I got a good amount of sleep last night. It was the first night I actually got a good amount of sleep too, because I finally got some melatonin in the mail the other day because I've been having trouble sleeping. Well, I mean, not like getting to sleep, but like staying asleep. So I'll just get up in the middle of the night, like a whole bunch. So I just got some melatonin to hopefully help me stay asleep. Looking through some stuff, but yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. But as far as like thinking about YouTube-y stuff, I've been trying not to think about it, but you know me, it's like a fucking addiction. You know, yeah, as much as I try to avoid it and think about other things and focus on other things, there's still little parts in here that well, you know, points in time where I think about YouTube and what I want to do when I come back. And there's you know, different pathways I could take, you know. Like one I was thinking about was really focusing in on the Add a Media channel, because that's the channel with the most subscribers. I make the most money from that channel versus, you know, all my other channels, even combined. That channel earns me the most because, you know, everybody's always looking for tutorials, but I don't want to just do tutorial content for that channel because, I mean, this is going to sound like totally, I don't know. But my thing with doing just tutorials is that it's like too easy, you know? Like it's kind of hard to, you know, really put a project together with doing just tutorials, because the tutorials are like very straightforward, and I don't like to add a whole lot to the tutorials because I want to make them as streamlined as possible so people can get in and get out in like 2 or 3 minutes at most. Because one of the problems I find with a lot of people who do tutorials, Jesus, maybe I do need another cup of coffee. But the problem I do have with people that do tutorials is that oftentimes they include a bunch of filler shit that nobody really cares about, or they go like too in depth with the subject matter at hand. So, you know, I was thinking of maybe doing like, you know, like a quick tutorial and then later doing like a more in-depth tutorial, depending on the subject and stuff. So that way, if people just want to learn how to do the damn thing, they have the tutorial for that. But if people want to learn why they need to do the damn thing, there's a tutorial for that too. And, you know, some people have been asking me to do like a getting started on Adobe Premiere Pro or something like that, some kind of guide for that, which I've done and I'm not opposed to doing again. But for me, those tutorials don't really do that well. You know, because everybody and their brother does them. So, you know, unless my channel starts really pulling in some numbers and stuff like that, it's not really gonna pull in as many views as people might think. I mean, it'll do decently, but yeah. And plus, like with my workspace, it's set up like perfectly for me. It's not a default workspace, so I don't want to spend like 20 minutes explaining like what a workspace is and why mine looks different than yours and all this, that, and the other. And I don't want to go to like a basic workspace because, you know. I don't like it. Too much shit. I don't like it. All right. This coffee is Ladunzo. Ooh. Okay, so now we can move on to a healthy option. Because everybody's saying, oh my God, eat your greens, Andy. Why are you eating all this unhealthy shit? Green smoothie. No. Just saying. Just saying. Although I think the ones at Lawson's are definitely the best. You know, they're the most like real smoothie like. Like these are kind of like the, you know, the ones you pick up at like the supermarket, like the naked smoothies and shit like that. So it's like healthy-ish, I guess. Even though this one says no sugar added, so you know. Ah, man. But it's better than nothing, you know. Gives me all that vitamin C and fiber and all that fun stuff because, you know, yay, getting older. Jesus, speaking of which, I'm going to be 35 next month. It's fucking wild. And then next year, this channel is going to be celebrating its 15-year anniversary. Fuck, man. Had I decided to have a kid instead of having a YouTube channel, that kid would be in high school right now. Fuck. Be crazy. Well, not right now, but like next year. Regardless. Yeah. I was 20 years old when I started this YouTube channel. And it's crazy to think about, like, that kids are actually like growing up with YouTube. You know, like I can't imagine what my life would have been like had YouTube been around when I was growing up. Like, fuck, man. Like, had everything like been the way it was, but like earlier. Fuck, man. That'd been wild. I may or may not have more subscribers. I don't know. But hard saying. But you know, I guess even if it did start earlier, the platforms for monetization would have started around the same time anyway. So, you know. Yeah, it's the thing that a lot of people don't realize when they see how long I've been on YouTube and how little perceived success I have. You know, they look at the numbers and are like, really? But to me, it's not about the numbers. I mean, it used to be when I was younger. And you can go back and look at videos where I'm like complaining that I don't have enough subs or enough views or nobody comments or any other stuff. Speaking of which, why aren't you commenting in the live chat? I kid. But seriously, not just but yeah, like when I was younger, you know, I got too caught up in the numbers of YouTube, you know, being some reflection of value that my channel has. And, you know, there's still some people who give me shit about it. Like, oh my God, Andy, you only have so many subscribers and you've been on YouTube for how long? Oh my God, why do you still make videos? Why don't you just give up? You got a real job. Oh my God. And it's like, you know, for me at this point, I just do YouTube for fun. Like doing YouTube as like a job. Well, doing my own YouTube channels as a job. I should preface that. That ship has long since sailed. Do I see my channels, you know, go in that direction at some point? Possible. You know, anything can happen. Not rolling it out. Especially with the Adam Media channel. I think of my current channels, that one's really going to be the one to take off. Because, you know, with tutorial content, you don't need a lot of views or subscribers to make some money, you know. And that's something not a lot of people talk about because everybody wants to hear about, oh, what is this YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers? What do they make? Oh my gosh. pulling in thousands of dollars. Like, well, yeah, of course they are. They have over 100K subs. They've built a community that watches their videos that they come out with, and they use SEO to keep it in the algorithm long term. It's easy, But ultimately, if you want to do YouTube for a living, you got to make content that people want or people find valuable, I guess. So, for some people, it's, entertainment value. So, doing funny skits or whatever the case, or, daily vlogs, feeling some sense of community and stuff like that, which, that was the main point of contention with my content, because I based so much of it on my life. I felt like every facet of my life was, a commodity. Like I could commodify any part of my life, which it's a blessing and a curse, I guess you could say, because the good thing is, there's no shortage of opportunities to make money on YouTube, making videos. But at the same time, it's like there's no separation of, YouTube stuff and your own personal stuff, because you feel like everything's commodifiable. Like getting back into video games. Like I wanted to get back into video games as a way to like de-stress, but obviously with like Let's Plays and live streaming and stuff like that, I started thinking about like, well, what if I played this game on Twitch, and like, I got to develop a Twitch audience, and well, what if I played this on YouTube? That'd be kind of cool, but the YouTube gaming scene isn't quite as big as it is on Twitch, and it's just like, And plus, even if it did make it big, streaming games, like the amount of ad dollars going into gaming is more spread out than it would be for like, tutorial content. So the CPMs are a lot lower. So even though I would get like a ton of views, I might not get that much. So that's why, if you look at a lot of these, like how much do I make as a YouTuber videos, you'll find a lot of times that like the entertainment channels, gaming channels, their CPMs are like dog shit, basically. They'll be lucky to get like 2, 4, maybe 6 for like the top tier talent, $6 CPMs. Whereas someone in, financial, tech YouTubers, they make fucking bank, Like they don't even need a lot of subs or a lot of views to make that kind of money. But yeah, if I had tech YouTuber money, like fuck, dude, I'd go full time right away. Shit. But it definitely takes a lot of money up front to start. Especially the tech that people want to see. Like, for my channel, for instance, a lot of my videos that perform well are tech-based. So either unboxings, demos, reviews, stuff like that. Like I still see like consistent income. It's not that much, like 60 cents a month or something like that. But I still see that like consistent income from a guitar tuner unboxing and demo that I did when I was out at Fleet ASW in San Diego, like, what was it, 12, like 8, almost 9 years ago. So I still see people like, viewing that tutorial, and I still get ad money from it, and I still get comments every once in a while on it, like, oh my god, this tuner's hot garbage. And it's like, well, it's like almost 10 years old, so like I'm pretty sure Korg has improved their tuning technology since then, I'd hope. So there's that, and then more recently was the unboxing and vent removal tutorial that I did for my new laptop, the Asus ROG Zephyrus G15. Had to remember that all in order. So let me check something. Yeah. But yeah, like the unboxing and the vent guard removal, my bad. Those did really well. And they don't exactly earn me a whole lot of money. I mean, they do relative to like my other videos on this channel, but like overall in the grand scheme of things, not really. But you know, the value is in the long tail. So even though it's not earning me a whole lot of money right now, you know, over time it'll just build up. And this is just like one or two of many videos. So that's the thing people don't really think about in terms of building stuff on YouTube. You know, they just think they're going to make like one or two banger videos and that's just going to carry their channel, and you know, that's what's going to make them go all in on YouTube. And the thing with those is just, yeah, you'll get good amount of views and good amount of AdSense revenue from those videos, you know, if you're monetized by the time you go viral. But you know, with viral content, it doesn't have like very good long tail, so it doesn't last very long. Like you just see like a huge spike for like maybe a couple days, maybe a week at most, then it's just gonna fucking dip when the algorithm's like, all right, people have seen this. You know. So, but you know, that's the good thing about like tutorial tech-based content is you know, the evergreenness, especially tutorials. Tech, you know, tech comes and goes, so it's gonna have a little more long tail than one of those viral videos will. But the tutorials, a lot of them are pretty evergreen. You know, obviously with if you're covering like new shit that Adobe puts out or whatever, it'll do well for a while. But yeah, it might taper off, you know, if another update comes or whatever the case. But the basics will remain the same. So that's why you see a lot of these like tutorial channels focus more on like the basic user, because there's a lot more basic users than there are like intermediate or experts. So when I do tutorials, it's mostly geared towards people who are like just getting started. But you know, it's kind of a fine line as far as like how I talk about those sorts of things, because it's like I don't want to like insult the viewer's intelligence and being like, oh my gosh, this is a workspace, and if you use your mouse and you scroll over here, you see that over there, that's the toolbar, ladies and gentlemen. And over here on the top, just like your cursor, there's an arrow key. If you click on the arrow key, then you can select things. So click on the arrow key with your mouse, left click, okay? Then you scroll over to the right, onto your timeline, just like, and that's why there's a lot of tutorial channels that are like 10 plus minutes long, just explaining how to like select tools and select shit on the timeline. I'm just like, hey, yeah, just go click the arrow key or whatever, or just like go for it, you know? So, and I haven't seen any comments about, well, how do you do that thing? So as long as they have like a basic understanding of how things work, then that's fine. So, because, you know, I was talking with some of my friends who do similar content, and they were like, I don't know why you don't just make it like as basic as possible. And I'm like, that's why. I mean, yeah, I would get more, I would get longer videos, you know, potentially more ad revenue, because if you break 8 minutes, you can put in mid-rolls. But like, that's not really what I want to do for the tutorials. Like, I want to keep the tutorials as like short and tight as possible. But If we want to do more like in-depth type tutorials, yeah, I can make those longer. That's fine. But like the basic tutorials, instead of like lumping a whole bunch of shit into one big tutorial, I'd rather just make a bunch of tiny tutorials. So that way, if people are looking to learn how to do a specific thing, they can just go to video, watch for like 2-3 minutes, learn how to do the thing, cool, go, do the thing. Versus having to like wade through, hello, my lovely subscribers. Today we're going to be learning how to do this thing in Adobe Premiere Pro. But before we do, I want to make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this video. In order to do that, you take your mouse, you scroll all the way down, yep, down, then you left click on the subscribe button, and then on the right side you will see a bell icon, okay? Bell icon. So scroll to the right, and click it with your left mouse, left click, and then scroll up one to hit all. And that's how you do it. So with that said, let's begin. And before we begin, this video is sponsored by Bookstacks. I don't know. And then they just take like 5 to 8 minutes, and then the last 2 minutes is the actual tutorial. And then it's like, well, guys, that was a tutorial, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and so on and so forth in the end card. And it's just like, why don't they just explain how to do the damn thing? But in addition to tutorials, I also want to talk more about life in the creative space, and just kind of different topics and stuff that I'm interested in. I know not too many other people cover them, or they don't cover them quite like how I want them to be covered. So that's usually a good sign for people who are looking to start a YouTube channel and don't know what the heck to talk about. First look at your own viewing patterns, like what kind of stuff do you like to watch? And then what are some complaints of those things that you have? Because chances are you're not the only one complaining about it. Like there's a good example, a YouTuber that I totally respect and watch like all of his content, like to an obsessive level, is Roberto Blake. He puts out just fantastic content. He's kind of the blueprint for my Adam Media channel, actually. Him and Sarah Dici, they're kind of the blueprints for what I want my channel to be. In addition to, God, it's hard to say. In addition to tutorial content, Christ, I also want to talk about different aspects of the creative life, and maybe do some tech review once I really start making them muns. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that he doesn't really talk about that I want to get into, or maybe talk about some stuff from my perspective, because when he was doing freelance stuff, he was doing it as a graphic designer versus me, who's doing it as a video editor. So there's definitely a lot of overlap for sure, but there's also a lot of differences, both in terms of pricing, clientele, how I got my start versus how he got his start. And also just something that he talked about briefly in his recent podcast episode. Well, actually, it was the after chat, but something he talked about recently was the idea of an intrapreneur. So it's somebody with entrepreneurial tendencies who operates like an entrepreneur, but within the context of an organization. So more of like a consultant or something like that. And this idea really intrigued me, because I think if he really went in depth with it, it could be a very viable option for a lot of people. Because a lot of people like me who watch Roberto's content, or like Gary Vaynerchuk's content, or whatever the case, and they want to live that entrepreneur lifestyle, but they have commitments. They got a job, they got a wife, husband, kids, the whole shebang. They got a house payment, car payment, all this stuff. And they don't want to just upend all that just to work on this little project on the side full time. So this idea of being an entrepreneur and just operating within the framework of your current company is very intriguing because it'll allow you to build up a client base right away, and it'll give you the skills to, when you finally do make the leap to being an entrepreneur, if you decide to. I mean, you could stay an entrepreneur if you want, but if you decide to make the leap into entrepreneurship, then you'll already have a client base. You'll already know how to negotiate with those clients, and hopefully by the time you make the leap, you'll already have like a small team to kind of help you along the way, depending on the scale of your business. But yeah, I just thought that concept was like really interesting. It's not something that a whole lot of people really talk about. Most people are either like, stay at your current job, or get a good job, or most of those entrepreneurial channels are mostly about just find something that you're good at, find a good side hustle, and just go all in with that, which is all fine and good, but that's not an option for some people, to go all in with it. Some people want a little bit of security while they go for it, so that way it's an easier transition. So hopefully he makes some more videos talking about entrepreneur lifestyle. But we'll see. But for me, being a freelancer, it's very interesting. It's kind of hard to explain on YouTube. It's definitely something I want to explain. So that way, if people are interested in doing what I do, then they can do it. But I don't think I'll really start to get loud about it until things clear up with my visa situation with school, or after school rather. So once I'm done with that, then move on with that situation. So yeah, because one of the things that intrigued me about life in Japan and a lot of these like J-vloggers and stuff like that. I mean, obviously the golden age of J-vlogging, most foreigners in Japan, when they come over, they usually come over to teach or to be a student. In most cases, it's usually the teachers that do the vlogging. Not too many students do vlogs, surprisingly. There have been some, but they either stop vlogging or they go back to their home country and that's it. There's very few that make the switch. But the ones that do, they definitely are in it for the long haul, I'd say. And so, the hook for me with the Andy Japani channel was to be somebody who's studying abroad in his 30s on the GI Bill, while also being a freelance video editor. There's a lot of differences in my approach versus everybody else's approach, which would just be student, just studying abroad out here. That's how it is. But when whatever happened to Andy Anime, I decided to move it to another channel. So I changed the Andy Japani channel back to what it was, and decided to make reformat an old channel to Andy Anime, and it's going to be its own thing. Because I was toying with the idea of just turning Andy Japani into Andy Anime, but I figured that would alienate the audience, and if I got copyright struck, they would take down all the videos on the channel. versus just the one with copyright content. So I figured if that were to happen, I'd rather them take down like a dedicated channel versus a channel with copyright content on it. So Mr. Peachy content, I wouldn't say soon because I'm still on like YouTube sabbatical, I guess you could call it. So I'm not really making my own stuff right now. I just been taking a break with it, focusing on final projects for classes because this is the last full month of classes. So I pretty much just have final exams the first week in December, and then that's it. So just making sure I'm getting that all taken care of so I can excuse me, so I can graduate and move on to the next piece of business. So speaking of which, last I heard, I was talking with some staff because I had a meeting with them about not just academic progress, but also where they are with the 4-year program. And the plans are, they pretty much just confirmed what I already knew, which was they're planning on rolling it out in the summer instead of the spring. And I pretty much already knew this once they released the spring schedule. I was just like, yeah, it's not on there. I haven't heard so much as a peep from them on social media or elsewhere. So it's pretty much just confirming what I already knew. So I decided to take matters in my own hands, I guess you could say. So I was looking for a job and tried Pizza Hut for the first time in Japan. Ah, nice. Yeah, Pizza Hut in America is pretty gross because they put like way too much damn butter on everything, and it's just so heavy and just. But regular Pizza Hut pizza is fine. I do like the Domino's pizza sauce better. I think their sauce is a little more distinctive, but the size of the slices are like baby size, and I'm just like, this feels weird. I feel like I'm eating a kid's pizza or something. And plus, Domino's is usually expensive compared to Pizza Hut. It uses like a lot of coupons, and you can get like a basic pizza for not that much. Flavors recommend. Like my usual is just like a pepperoni pizza with extra cheese, mozzarella cheese. I tried Gouda and it was just, whenever they put on Gouda, it always tastes burnt for some reason. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to taste or they just don't know how to cook it. But it always tastes burnt to me, so I always just get extra mozzarella, jalapenos, and I've been cycling between mushrooms and garlic. So I used to get like garlic, but I don't know. Sometimes they put like way too much garlic, and it's just like, ooh, stomach starts hurting after a while. So I usually it's extra mozzarella, jalapenos, and mushrooms for a pepperoni pizza. So deluxe large with thick crust. Yeah, I can't do larges. I usually just go for like the medium or regular, whatever they got, which is like an American small anyway. So they're always like the size down. So yeah, it's good. Another pizza I tried, I think I really want to try the ground beef. Ground beef looks pretty good, but I don't know, like a lot of times when they put meat on pizza, it's like too greasy and just too heavy. So I usually stick with just a little bit of meat and some vegetables and legumes. So, plus I like it spicy. And I also got some Cajun seasoning at National Azabu Marketplace. So I just pour that shit on there too. Makes it extra good. It's not really spicy per se, but just, Yo, what a fam! How you doing, JT? Dang. How's the YouTube break going? Pretty good, man. Like right now, I'm just focusing on final projects and stuff for school. So even if I didn't take the YouTube break before, I was gonna take it again anyway, because I want to make sure I graduate this semester and then move on to the next piece of business. So with my school, they only offer, yeah, exactly. And plus, I figured just doing live streams is enough to scratch that YouTube itch in the meantime, and to let people know I'm not dead, at least that I know of. Yeah, exactly. So right now, my school only offers associate's degrees, but they're going to be starting up a bachelor's program very soon. And I got done talking with my academic advisor about it, and I guess they had a meeting recently, and they said they're going to be starting it up in the summertime, which is already confirming what I already knew, because I saw the spring schedule and I didn't see any upper level classes, so I was like, yep, it's not starting in the spring. Yo, JT with the $3.99 holla. I wish I had the little OBS emotes and stuff. But I'm just doing this off the YouTube webcam. Make it nice, chill, simple. Yeah, appreciate it, fam. So, hell yeah, super sticker hype. Hoo-yah. Oh, man. But yeah, so the plan is I actually got done talking with a company who's looking to hire me for video editing work. So if they're able to sponsor my visa, then I'll be able to work with them full time until my school gets going with their 4-year program, and then I'll just switch back to that. So yeah, I'm always getting stuff moving, even if I don't share it on YouTube. I always have stuff going in the background. And plus, I've just been doing a lot of like rethinking about my overall YouTube strategy, and a lot of my friends were talking to me about it, and it's just one of those things. And I talked about this earlier, but this whole, like, most of my content has been talking about my life, which going on 15 years now. Like, I started back in 2006, and my 15-year anniversary is going to be in March of this coming year. So if I decided to have a kid instead of start a YouTube channel, they'd be going to high school next year. It's pretty fucking wild to think about. Like, I was 20 when I started. Yeah. Baby JT. Hell yeah, dude. And it's gonna be wild to like look back at like all the old content. Like, I even see it now, going back and looking at videos that I made like 5-10 years ago. And for me, like, I did it through my whole time in the Navy, so I can go back to like any point in time in my Navy career and see videos, But it's good seeing you, dude. Definitely don't be a stranger. Stop by soon. Say hi to Papa. Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you see it too, dude. Like, you've been around for a minute. You can see like the old barracks videos, like, yo, what is up, my family? All right, later, fam. It's good seeing JT in the chat. Gave me a little shot in the arm, so I'm starting to feel a little sleepy. So, muchos aficionados. Yeah, exactly. What is up, my family? You got to bring up the what up fam sometime, man. Yeah. I mean, I was the same way too. Like, I go back and like look at my old ass videos, man. I was just, Jesus. It's kind of hard because I look like I was 12, even though I was like 20. Yeah. 2010 vibes, son. Shit. Like, I remember looking at my first NFAX video, which was talking about a DEP meeting. And I think I had like the DEP meeting shirt. You remember those white shirts that they had? Yeah. Yeah, I was about right. Total baby face, man. No, and I'm trying to change it up with a little bit of facial hair, as much as I can grow anyway. Meanwhile, my younger brother's got like a full fucking beard and shit. All right, dude. Say hi to Papa for me. Well, yeah, guys. So, what was I talking about? Just like my basic YouTube strategy. So, like I said, most of my time here on YouTube has been, commodifying or commoditizing my life, So I wanted to make stuff that was less focused on my life, which is where the idea of doing like, anime video essays came from. Because, I want to focus on different styles, because not just for me and the kind of content that I want to see, but also, especially as a video editor, if you get picked up for this sort of work, you want to show that, like, you know what you're doing, right? So, there's some styles where I can just hop in and that's all well and good. But, a lot of these YouTube niches have like their own formats and memes and things involved with them. So if you want to work with certain YouTubers, you want to show them that you know what you're doing and that you're familiar with that style. So that way it's not that big of a deal, if they decide to hire you. And, I've heard some people say, well, just edit one of their videos. Like, that's already up on their YouTube channel. It's like, it's already edited. It's like saying, if you want to get hired at a restaurant, well, you should cook something that they already cook. It's like, oh yeah, let me get that hamburger. All right, I'm going to take this hamburger home. I'm going to throw it in the oven and show them I can really cook it. It's like, it's already cooked. It's already made. Like, it doesn't really, like, I kind of see where they're going with it. But at the same time, like, it's already put together. So, like, most of what I would do is kind of lost in that because it's already made. It's like taking coffee and like putting it back in the brewer and being like, I can make coffee too, It doesn't really make sense. So it'll just end up looking burnt anyway. But I digress. So yeah, like, I really want to edit for some Anitubers, because I've been really getting back into the Anituber scene. And, like, a lot of times, like, the one hobby I haven't commoditized is watching anime, which is kind of ironic because I'm going to be commoditizing it. So I know, hypocrite. But, a lot of times before I watch a series, I usually see like what the Anitubers are saying about that series. Or if there's like a series that I haven't even heard about, and they're like, oh man, you should really check this out. Or, if they give it like a so-so sort of ranking, be like, because, I mean, you know how critics are. Like, sometimes they, sometimes they're just too picky about shit. And they don't want to just, like, just enjoy it. That's the one thing that I notice about a lot of critics when they talk about stuff. Like, there's no, like, guilty pleasures category or whatever. It's always like they just take it at like a critical value, and it's just. But a lot of times I can kind of glean from what they say. It's be like, is this something I should check out? Then obviously, there's like the big hit anime of the season. And, I just want to see if it's like overhyped or if I should check it out. Like the anime about curses and stuff. Like, for me this season, I'm not really watching a whole lot this season, actually. Like, before, my Crunchyroll queue was pretty vast. Oh, right. I have to switch my VPN to check it, but whatever. So before, I was watching like 8 or 9 shows, but now I'm only down to 4 because there's not a whole lot going on this season that's interesting to me. I'm watching what's the name of that anime, like Jujin Kaisen or something like that. It's a show about like curses and stuff like that. Like the dude swallowed some fingers of like a legendary cursed demon. Now he has his powers and stuff like that. It's pretty wild. That's kind of like the big hit anime for this season. So I've been watching that. Been watching the new Digimon, not the Kizuna one. I might end up watching that later because I saw Billiam's review of it and I was just like, So I'm watching those two. Watching the rock climbing anime. Then I'm watching Yashahime, the Inuyasha sequel. And it's always weird with these like sequels to like big franchise anime. It's like there's always a lot of potential, but they don't quite live up to the hype. See Boruto. Ugh, Jesus. Yeah, I gave up on Boruto after a while. It was just like, it was a cool idea. And I think if they would have just kept it to the movie or maybe made like one or two more movies, I think it would have been fine. Could have just kept it at that and moved on to something else. But with the series, it was just, it had a lot of interesting parts. And it was kind of good to like kind of see like what happened to, all the older characters and seeing how they interact with their kids and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of interesting, But it was one of those things where, it's kind of hard to balance having established characters and also trying to get the main characters, I guess I'm going to use wrestling terminology, but get the main characters over with the audience, because you always see, like about the main characters from Naruto, like, well, Naruto, Sasuke, Rock Lee, and Sai, and all these others. So, like, that they're fucking badasses, and especially by the end of the series, it's like, everybody is just super powered and stuff. And then you see their kids come along, and at first it's, all well and good. It's like they're training, so you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt because, they're just kids and they're just learning and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, man, Naruto could go in there and just fucking kick this guy's ass, no problem. So that was the thing I was thinking about like the whole time during Boruto, was seeing Boruto and his team like struggle with some low rent villains. I was just thinking like, man, if Naruto or Sasuke were around, they just squash this guy in like a second flat. Meanwhile, their team's like struggle busting with them. And it's just like, man. And then you see like some characters get killed off. I'm not going to spoil anything. So, but there are some characters who get killed off, maybe, possibly. Have to tune in. And it's just like, it's kind of cool that they, make a sacrifice and stuff. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, man. It's just, it's always hard to see an anime like deal with like a changing of the guard. And that's what I see shows like Boruto doing. But with Yashahime, I think it's too early to really say. They're only like, 5-6 episodes in. But from what I've seen so far, I think they're doing it right. Because unlike in Boruto, where a lot of the main characters from the previous series are still around, and yeah, some of them are retired and doing like office work or whatever the case. They're not in it like they used to be. But they're still around. So if shit really goes down, like they can, answer the call basically and get out there and kick some ass. But with Yashahime, it's pretty much just the main characters, for that series. because the main series or main characters from the Inuyasha, they're not around right now, and it's kind of leading to that buildup with the confrontation with Sesshomaru. And you also want to kind of figure out, it's like, well, what happened to Inuyasha and what happened to Kagome? Because like the way there was like a little bit of foreshadowing, making it sound like the characters don't really know about those characters. Like maybe there's some amnesia going on, or they got adopted or something when they were really young, or maybe they got their mind wiped or something like that. There's something going on. So that's pretty intriguing. And you see like the specter or the shadow or whatever of the former main characters, and you see some of like the side characters from the previous show. So it still ties it in, but it's not enough to where it's like the side characters that are going to come in and like save the day. Like it's it's almost like if they decided to go forward with for talking like Dragon Ball Z or something like that, it's almost like if they decided to go forward with Gohan being the main character instead of Goku after the Cell Saga, and like you wouldn't see Yamcha or whatever like come in and like save the day. He would be there to like kind of still tie the series in, but he's not going to come in and like really show up the main characters, and that's kind of what I like about Yashahime. Like you have the former side characters from the previous show to tie it in with the universe or the main story, I guess. But you don't have like the overpowered main characters coming in, like really showing these new guys up, new girls in this case. And I think that's pretty interesting. But as far as the new Digimon season, I've been watching. I haven't been like watching like all episodes of Digimon. I pretty much stopped after Digimon Tamers, which looking back was like a hella dark show. Like, oh my god, like I had no idea how they managed to get that on Fox Kids. Like, Jesus Christ. Obviously it's toned down from like some other anime I've seen, but like comparatively it's just like wow. But got back into it when I saw guys like Billiam talking about Digimon episodes, and he did like a whole comprehensive review of the Digimon series, and it kind of got me back into it again. I'm like, yeah. And then Try came out to celebrate the 15-year anniversary, and it was kind of cool to see like the new art style and to see like the new CG and everything. But just like story-wise, it was just like it was nice to see everybody again and to see the updated art style, like I said, but just there wasn't really anything compelling with it, and that's one of the reasons why I don't know if I'll even watch that Kizuna movie that came out that's supposed to like wrap up that arc, because it's just plus it's like so much feels, because the series has been going on for so freaking long, and to see it end like that, I might change my mind later, but for now, just nah. So I've just been watching the season 1 remake that's on Crunchyroll right now, and it's pretty interesting actually. Like there's a lot of stuff that I thought I wouldn't like obviously introducing Omnimon very early in the series. I thought that was a bit of a mistake because it gave me Digimon first movie vibes. I was like, I don't know where they're going with this. And then when they introduced the ultimate level Digimon very early in the series, like I kind of liked it, especially as a fan, because like I already kind of knew where it was going. So I figured, if we could just expedite to that point and then, all right, then get to the new shit, then it'd be cool. And I thought, considering the pace at which everybody got their ultimate forms, and we completely skipped over the Crest arc entirely, it was just, they wanted to win so bad, and now all of a sudden that triggered the ultimate evolution, I guess, which, that's a pretty cool way to go about it. Less chasing after tags and crests and stuff like that. More kicking ass, which is pretty cool. And then the recent stuff where it's like they don't really do their mega evolutions yet, aside from Omnimon, but they do like, I don't even think they give it a name yet, but it's like an equipment mode, I guess. Like they acquire like a new weapon in their ultimate form. So for like Metal Greymon, it's like a sword on his left arm, or like some kind of like railgun type thing. And then for Weregurumon, recently he got like these metal wings, which allows him to like fly around, and he gets like a size buff and stuff like that, which is pretty cool because that was the one thing I thought was kind of weird about Weregurumon was his size. So like it seemed like everybody got bigger, but he got like way smaller, Like he was only just like a little bit taller than the characters, which is kind of weird, but whatever. And then the whole thing with Devimon, even though he's champion level Digimon, somehow being able to completely overpower like all the other Digimon, even though they're ultimate level and stuff, just kind of wild. So they might explain it as either him being higher level than he was in the original series, so he might not be champion level, he might be like ultimate or mega or something like that. So it's pretty interesting to see where they take that. And so far I like it. It's got, it hits a lot of the right points with the original series, but it still takes it in a different direction. And I think it's a lot more cohesive. I think the filler and stuff is a little better spread out. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be like with the original first series, where once they get to the Dark Masters arc, they just try to like do too much too fast. Because for me, like the Puppetmon arc was like way too fucking long, and there was like way too much shit going on. And it was for one of the more like uninteresting Dark Masters. And then by the time they finished that arc up, it's just like, oh, we got to kill them all really fast, in like 4 to 5 episodes. So like Machinedramon, who was my favorite actually, he ended up only getting like 2 episodes. And they figured out, oh, War Greymon can just fucking dunk on this guy in one hit. It's like done. It's like, fucking really? Well, I gotta do my bro Machinedramon like that. It's fucked up. And then Piedmon, who I figured would, put up more of a fight, gets dunked on by Magna Injamon. And like, that's it. And then you got a Pokemon coming out of nowhere. And, I thought he was pretty cool. But it just, I don't know, like I liked it, but I didn't like it. It's just like, I kind of like the idea of, there being like the real boss reveals himself sort of thing at like the end. So like just when you think it's all over, all of a sudden like the main boss shows up, and some people hate it because it seems like a cop out. But I kind of like that trope. It's pretty cool. It's, a little bit of a twist, and I think they could have spread that out with a couple more episodes. So I think if they cut back on the Puppetmon arc, spread that out more for like Machinedramon and Piedmon, and maybe add like an extra episode or whatever to the Pokemon arc, if you want to call it an arc. I don't know. Then it would have been a little more balanced, in my opinion. So hopefully they've learned from that, and they're going to be incorporating that into this new season, which is pretty interesting because they're like, what, 20 some episodes in right now, and they still haven't defeated like the major villain yet. They've like just seen the major villain in Devimon. But in the meantime, like a bunch of shit's gone on. So it's not like it's just been too much filler. They sprinkle it in every once in a while. But it's really building up Devamon to be this total fucking badass. And hopefully we get to see some really cool fights and everything. So yeah. Pretty interesting. But anyway. Whew, with all that said, I think the coffee is making its way downtown. Walking fast. Homebound. So anyway, I gotta see you going here. So it's good doing this live stream, even though I was kind of all over the place today. I really do enjoy doing live streams, getting to interact with you guys. I was debating on bringing back like the Breakfast in Japan live streams. And I might do it, maybe, I don't know. But I like talking with you guys on here. So yeah, definitely got to do this again soon. But for now, with all that said, guys, this is the Andy-san. Sign off for now, like I said. And as always, we'll see you next time. Get you later, guys. Bye.